So, have you ever felt like you are forcing yourself to draw, paint, and do art, and no matter how much you squeeze your brain, you just can't come up with anything? Well, my friend, you might be suffering from art block or creative block. But don't worry, because in this video, I'm going to share with you the secret on how you can shift your mindset and attitude towards this phenomenon that most artists can suffer from time to time. I'm also going to share with you some practical tips on how you can actually get out of this phenomenon called art block and rekindle your creative juices once again. Welcome back to my channel, guys, and if you're new here, my name is RJ and I'm a self-taught artist and animator behind Studio De La Rone channel dedicated to sharing with you everything I'm learning about art, animation, and drawing as I pursue a career in the animation industry. So before we get started, I just want to let you know that everything I'll be sharing with you in this video is just my own personal experiences on how I dealt with art block, and I'm hoping that these experiences that I'm going to share with you will help you get through your own art block or creative blocks as well. So let's get started with the basic definition of an art block. An art block or creative block is a period of time where an artist is having some creativity issues to come up with some piece of new work. They feel like their creativity or motivation to create has disappeared suddenly. And this may be quite challenging for both hobbyists and professionals. First, if you are a hobbyist and you're doing art to escape or just doing it for fun, having an art block means you can use this hobby to have that emotional fulfillment you get in art. And if you are a professional and you have an art block, well, you're basically because producing art is what brings money to the table. Now, while I made that sound very dramatic, I just want to let you know that having an art block is not really a big deal. And let me tell you why. Art blocks or creative blocks may come from different reasons, but if you break it down to its simplest reasons, it probably because of mental, emotional, or physical exhaustion or stress. These things may not be even related to art at all. And just like any other professions, these are the things that prevents us from doing our job effectively. So it's natural to have some sort of creative block when you are exhausted. So the very first thing that you need to understand is that it's not a big deal. The one thing I learned about making things such a big deal is that we allow ourselves to feel powerless with the things that we are making a big deal out of. If we make art block or a creative block a big deal, we somehow subconsciously telling ourselves that we can't handle it, which is not true. I truly believe that we can overcome any challenges we face, even if it's an art block, if we just have the proper attitude and mindset towards it. Having an art block shouldn't be a big deal because it's not. Just like any problems, it will pass and I will help you find ways on how to overcome it. Now, whether or not you agree with me when I say that we shouldn't make a big deal out of an art block, let me just share with you some practical tips on how you can actually overcome it, because I think that's the reason why you're here in the first place. The very first thing I want to share with you is very basic and general, and that is to take care of yourself. If you are emotionally, mentally, or physically exhausted, the first thing you need to do is to find a way to take care of yourself in these aspects. Maybe you need to rest and take a day or two. Maybe you need to eat well more or exercise more. Maybe you just need to get out more in nature to find a certain kind of peace. These are simply suggestions about taking care of yourself more, but you have to realize that the work you do is only a part of your life. It's not your whole life, so make sure you are taking care of other aspects of your life to have that balance. Another mindset and attitude shift you need to have is making sure you are okay in producing bad drawings. I think I've shared this advice in one of my videos before, but it's absolutely okay and normal to have and do bad drawings. It's not a big deal. This is something I constantly have to remind myself of because most of the time I am too attached in my drawings. I always have this desire to produce something good and worthy to share, and this pressure is an added mental stress in myself which can cause art block. So make sure you are constantly reminding yourself of this idea and let go of your attachment to your drawings. This will not only help you prevent art block but also help you be more loose, have fun, and get into flow. Now, those are just more mindset and general tips, but let me give you some specific examples on how you can get out of art block. Personally, I'd like to watch or rewatch shows and movies that I love while I am about to draw. Whenever I'm in an art block, I just play something in the background while I do my warm-up drawings. Recently, I have been rewatching all the Marvel movies just because I want to. In this particular drawing session, I was watching an episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and in addition to watching the show, I usually screen capture a scene and just redraw it. Sometimes I redraw the scene itself, and sometimes I just do the characters. I often add a little bit of my own style in it, but this is another thing you can do, especially if you don't know exactly what you want to draw because of art block. Another thing you can do is to create a drawing diary. And this is just a huge canvas in any software where you can just draw anywhere and fill it up with any kind of drawings you like to draw. Having a large canvas where you keep all your sketches can be very beneficial because this can create a sense of personal space for you and your art. Whenever I am in an art block, one of the first things I do is to pull up this page and see some of the things I've done before. Again, these drawings may not necessarily be good because these are just warm-up drawings for you and yourself alone. Another alternative for this is to have a sketchbook, and this can really benefit you as an artist even if you are mainly doing digital art. I started drawing in my sketchbook from time to time to just flow and get back to the love of drawing. The thing is, sometimes it works, sometimes it's not, and it's not a big deal at all for me. This is another opportunity for you to accept bad drawings as they are because you are basically drawing for yourself. When you create a drawing and you found it bad, you just move on to the next drawing and just keep on going until you find your flow. Creativity is a process, and sometimes it comes after a couple of bad drawings, and if you don't allow yourself to create those bad drawings, then you might find yourself struggling to tap into that creativity of yours. Another thing you can do is to do a fan art, which is what I am doing right now in this part of the video. This fan art is something I often do whenever I feel like I don't have anything else to draw. I also often draw characters from shows and movies I like, which really adds motivation to my creativity. This drawing I am doing is basically from the show called Squid Game, which is one of the most disturbing and yet emotionally satisfying shows I ever watched. Whenever you are influenced by strong emotional response on a show or a movie, this is often the time you can check in with your creativity because emotions are energy that can be transferred into your creative outlets. Plus, doing fan art can be really popular in the social media space, which can also add a little bit of motivation for you to post your work. There's another thing that I usually do which has nothing to do with doing art, and that is to meditate and calm my mind. Personally, whenever I experience art block or some sort of creative block in general, it is often because I am in an overthinking mode. I probably have a lot in my mind which is blocking my creativity. So what I do is simply take a couple of deep breaths, lie down or sit down on my bed and just meditate. I'm using this simple guided meditation from Bob Proctor, which you can find down in the description below. But so far, for all the guided meditations I have done before, nothing beats this one. Sometimes I would be so tired drawing for the last 6 to 8 hours, and I would literally pull up this meditation and just rest a bit. After the whole meditation, which is about 20 minutes or so, I feel so refreshed. I would continue drawing and creating storyboards for the next 4 hours. This actually works for me, and I don't even follow the exact suggestions of this video because it involves writing down your goals and dreams, but I never do that. I just listen to it, surrender myself to the voice of Bob Proctor, and then poof, after the meditation, I feel refreshed. It literally works like magic, so if you're someone interested in meditating, this is something that you can probably try for yourself. If you're not, then one alternative you can do is go for a walk outside and get in touch with nature. For some people, this is something that actually works really well because sometimes all we need is a bit of rest from our work and art and allow ourselves to absorb the beauty and wonder of nature. So pick whatever works for you and allow yourself to get out of your own art for a bit and have a very clear and refreshed mind. Again, most of the things that I just shared with you are the things that I've done whenever I am in an art block, and so far, these things have been working for me. Let me know down in the comments below some of the ways you have dealt with art block before. So I'll be ending the video right here, guys, but as always, thank you guys for watching and I'll see you in the next video. But don't forget, keep on creating so you can make this world more beautiful with your imagination.